Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We know that software development, can bring improvement to the Ummah. And we also know that we have access to the tools, the resources, the money to enable us to do this development. But most of us, what we do is, when we take on a new project or an idea, we go and develop it without talking to our users. Because most of us are scared. What if they don't like my idea? What if my idea is too good and someone steals it? So we don't talk about it. So we keep it to ourselves and we don't bring it out. But the objective is that you cannot build something, take it from idea to market without talking to your users. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through the process of how we got Quraanbook from idea to market and inshallah and beyond. So the idea of developing in isolation is one of the biggest factors that leads to products failing. Right? Now, Google has many failed products. But they can absorb that failure because they have the money. But as small businesses, startups, indie hackers, individual developers, we don't have that. We don't have the money to be able to spend on projects and fail and spend and fail and spend and fail. We need a strategy that will allow us to fail fast or be successful. Like, we don't want to build the whole project, spend months on it, come to market, and ask, where are the users? I did this. I have a good idea. No one's coming. No one's going to come because you didn't consult them. So I'm going to give you the blueprint that I used for Quraanbook to take it from idea to market. And this blueprint is all about your users. Right? Now, the first thing, before you start developing an idea, you need to understand that the market consists of 3 user types. Right? The first types of users are your early adopters. These are the ones that they are risk takers. They want to see your idea go from 0 to 1, and they will help you. They will sit through the bugs that your software has and everything. They will be with you. Right? And your second group of users are the followers. So what they do is they wait for someone else to take the risk first. Once they've seen testimonials and the software is in usage, then they will come on board. And your third group of users are your latecomers. These are the ones they will tell you, your idea is bad, it won't work, don't try it, don't do it, right? So if you go and you speak to a few people, and they're all early adopters, you'll think you have a great idea. But when you speak to people that are latecomers, you'll think you have a bad idea. So therefore, you increase the number of people you speak to so you can have a nice view of what your market looks like. Now, once you understand the 3 types of users, you need to speak to all the stakeholders in a particular market. So if you're building something for a shop, it would be good for you to speak to the customers of that shop also. It would be good for you to speak to the person that does the accounting in the back office. It would be good for you to speak to the CEO, the boss of that shop, because the software that you build for the primary user will affect all of them. And you, as a software provider, as a software developer, you want to ensure that everyone is happy in the entire system that you are developing for. Now, once you understand your users, you know who to speak to, you then need to go into your market and you need to evaluate the needs of your market. What does your market need? What are the problems they are facing? What are the challenges that they have? So now that you understand the challenges they have, what they're going through, your next step is not to go out and build the whole software because you know what it is. Your next step is you release iteratively, small bits at a time, so that you can take something small to the market, see what their response is, go back and fix it or improve on it and go back. Right? That's what we do. And the last one is the one that, especially for new developers, is the most difficult. Like no one wants to do this. They don't want to talk about this. Like they want to think about this. And this is something that is very important, is set a price. Right? Set a price. Why set a price? If your product is free, what guarantee does the customer have that if I take this product on, what makes me, what won't stop you from leaving this for another idea? But if you set a price, it instills confidence in the market where the person will know, as long as I'm paying you, I'll get your service. And I trust you enough that if you don't want to offer the service, you'll give me my money back. So that's what setting a price does into a market. Now I'm going to show you how we implemented this blueprint into Quraanbook, getting it from idea to market. In December 2021, a friend of mine came to me and he said, I'm running a hifz school, running it for some time now, and I'm having trouble communicating with my parents, the parents of the students, and also tracking the work. Right? Now, the schools, all the hifz schools around South Africa, and even around the world, they use what is known as a door book, or a progress book, or a monitoring book, to monitor what the child recited for the day, and then they would enter the mistakes the child make, and then the teacher would put in a comment, and the teacher would sign. And this book would go home to the parent, and the parent would sign it, and then it would come back to the school. And that signature of the parent would indicate that the parent is up to date with the child's progress. But now, this book presents many challenges. And of the challenges are that this book, if the parent doesn't look into the book, it leads to gap in communication between teacher and parent. They're not going to be able to know what's going on. And the second thing it also probably brings about is that the students end up signing their own books. Right? So now the teacher thinks that the parent is on board, they know what's going on, but meanwhile the student is signing their own book every day. Right? So, and the other challenges it also brings about is it's difficult to track the progress of the student. You must go through pages. When did you read Juz 5? And page back. Oh, you read it like 10 months ago. If you skip the page, then you won't know you read it like 4 months ago or something like that. And the final thing is that this leads to a lack of long-term progress tracking. So students don't do hifz for 1 month, 2 months. They do it for over 3 years, 4 years. So how do you keep track of this 4-year range of data? So when he presented this to me, I told him, we're going to use the users framework. Right? We're going to understand what the market wants. So you are one person. You're an early adopter. You like this idea of software for this problem. But let me go test the market out first. So what I did is, I went on Figma, and I designed 2 screens. So Figma is where you just drag and drop blocks and write text. No code required. And once we had this, right, I took it, put it on my status, went to schools, and I asked them, we've got this idea that it will allow you to capture student progress, student recitation, and communicate it with the parents. And most people said, wow, this is like a good innovation, like bring it on. Why has no one thought about this? And then you had other people said, it might work, try it out, let's see how it goes. And then you had other people, they said, the hifz schools are stuck in a way. And this is the tradition, we use the book, and we're not going to change. So there I've discovered that the 3 types of users existed in this market. And I was happy to find that. But once we had enough early adopters, we then went into development. Right? So obviously before you develop a software, you need an architect. So the architecture we had was, we made a simple front end, and then we had a back end written in Python, and then we had a database to store all the data and an emailing service to email the parents. So what we did is, we built out the MVP. So this is a minimal viable product. It doesn't take us a lot of time. We built something small, right? And we built it, and what this allowed the teacher to do is, the teacher would select from a list of students, and then he would select what lesson the student is reciting, and then he would now sit with this. So instead of the door book where he had to make dots, now he can just press plus if the child makes a mistake, or plus, and then he would enter a comment. And then he would press the done button, and then he would get an indication that the parent received the email. And the email that the parent would receive would look something like this. It would tell you what your child has recited today, the number of mistakes they made, and it will also give you the comment of the teacher. Now, once we rolled this out, we then waited to see how the market reacted, because this is now a small piece. And then we got comments coming in, and the comments were mostly positive. Some parents were like, I want to stick to the book. I don't want the app. I want to stick to the book. But the majority of the comments were positive, and it could be summed up in this. Quraanbook's real-time updates allow me to closely follow my son's progress throughout his school day, giving me time to understand and process his learning journey, which is significant improvement over the traditional progress tracking book. Right? Once we had this comment, it brought joy to my heart. And what I did is I thought, okay, I did this only in Cape Town. I only spoke to schools in Cape Town. But is that a good idea? No, because Cape Town is not the only place with HIF schools. HIF schools are in Joburg, HIF schools are in Durban, HIF schools are all around the world. So what we did is we flew to Joburg. Right? We came here. And the first thing when we landed, and we thought we had a great idea, we're going to show the people, we came to learn that the HIF schools in Joburg operate completely different to the HIF schools in Cape Town. And then we had to now take in information. We had to evaluate the market now. We were back at that stage. We had to evaluate the market needs. And when we came to Johannesburg, it was for 3 weeks. We announced we're coming. And approximately between 30 to 40 schools, they wanted to meet with us. And we went and we sat with them. With some schools, we sat for up to 3 hours just discussing all the problems they're facing. And we asked them 2 simple questions. The questions we asked them was, tell me about your day-to-day. How does your day-to-day go? And they said, okay, this is how it works. We assigned this book. And every school had their own method. We then take the data from the progress book, we put it into an Excel sheet so that we can do it for long-term for long-term progress tracking. And every school had different needs, but with some schools we sat for 3 hours just discussing their problem. And once they tell us their day-to-day, we ask them some questions about, of what they spoke about. And then afterwards, we ask them another question. The question we ask them is, if we were to develop this app further, what would it look like? And they would tell us everything they wanted. I want attendance tracking, I want this, I want that, I want to see how many times a child recited a juz, and they told us everything. And what we did is, we took all the data. It was written down in the book. The book is in my bag here in front. You can come see it later if you want. Right? We took that book and we went back home to Cape Town. And we rebuilt the app to cater for the needs of South Cape Town and for the needs of Johannesburg. And that extended to PE, KZN, and everywhere else. And this is what we got. An app that allowed teachers to capture lessons of any type, analyze lessons in detail, and track students' progress. Now, today, we launched the app in 2024, in January 2024, and we had a whole lot of schools come on. And today, only for 2024, we have captured 100,000 plus lessons on the application. And alhamdulillah. And 100,000 plus lessons, let me explain to you what that means. A student going to a HIF school, sitting down in front of a teacher, and a student reciting and the teacher capturing what they recited. More than 100,000 of that has happened through the application, alhamdulillah. And today, we are in 4 provinces of South Africa: the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, and Gauteng. And we've also spoken to schools in the US. And you would think that the US, where technology comes from, they would have something amazing or something similar. But guess what? They're also using the book. They're also using the book. So the thing is, we now have an opportunity to take something from South Africa and take it globally. And that, inshallah, is our intention. And what I've learned from this whole experience is that when you genuinely care about your users and earn their trust, they will share their challenges with you. This will reveal meaningful problems worth solving. Jazakallah khair.